Hey everyone, this is Vasquez for Avix Gaming, and I have been playing a Fortitude only build in 7 days to die. Before starting to play, I thought this would be the most difficult solo build, and turns out I was kind of right. At the very beginning of the game, it is difficult, but once you pass a certain threshold, you start to enjoy some very cool perks. Let's talk about the weapons first. Your melee weapon are your fists, and at the beginning of the game, without any skills, they are terrible. You do little damage and you need to get really close to the zombies. Your first weapon are the knuckle wraps, and it requires leather and scrap iron to make. You can get leather by destroying this kind of furniture. My suggestion is prioritizing leveling up your Fortitude to level 7 and Brawling to level 4, and also make yourself some iron knuckles. Taking points in the Brawler will let you defend while you're attacking. At level 1, punching a zombie in the head will prevent it from infecting you, and you get the recipe to iron knuckles. At level 2, you get a 30% chance to stagger your enemy with power attacks. And at level 3, you get a 20% chance to knock them down with power attacks to the head, and 30% at level 4, while increasing your damage. You can now make level 5 quality fist weapons. Once you are here, you will have an effective melee weapon. You will need mechanical parts and forged iron to make the iron knuckles. You can equip tough guy glasses to get an extra point in Fortitude. So when you have completed the first quest, you get 4 skill points. When you get to level 3, you will have enough to get Fortitude to level 6 plus 1 of your tough guy glasses. So at level 7, you will have enough points to get Brawler to level 4. Fists have short range, but they are fast and use little stamina. All the fist weapons have the same number of attacks per minute and the same stamina cost, but more advanced fist weapons deal extra damage, so upgrade when possible. Level 5 in the Brawler will increase your chance to explode enemy heads with power attacks. Once you get the recipe to steel knuckles, you can make them at the workbench. You will need steel knuckle parts and forged steel to make it. The steel knuckles are a very effective weapon and a fine butchering tool, so when you have them, you need to carry a knife around. With your perks, you have a very good chance to incapacitate your enemy with the first blow. You are faster than the zombies, so you can interrupt their attacks. One-on-one, you can win against any enemy on the game. Just aim for the head and remember your footwork. Drinking beer will give you 300% damage while brawling and 40% stamina regeneration, so you can clear a big group of zombies while using it. Volume 7 of Bar Brawling duplicates the duration of this, and the Iron God perk makes it a little longer. Your ranged weapon is the machine gun, that even without any skill points is a very usable weapon. All machine guns have a large clip size, decent range and a good rate of fire. You could play all the game with the starting machine gun. You can usually buy an AK-47 early in the game from the traders. Using points in Machine Gunner will increase your fire rate reload speed, and will give you more damage using machine guns. Also, you get the recipe to the AK-47. You will need a workbench, machine gun parts, forged iron, duct tape, scrap polymers, and strings. The AK-47 is kind of slow to reload. Not really a problem considering its clip size. When you find the schematics to the tactical assault rifle, you can make it at the workbench and you only need 10 forged steel. It has more damage, more ammo capacity and a little more range than the AK-47. Also, the reload speed is much better. Because of the other perks in Fortitude, if you equip the padded armor with muffled connectors, a tactical assault rifle with the silencer mod makes a very effective stealth combination. The silencer will give you a substantial penalty on range, but since the machine guns aren't particularly accurate, it's fine. And anyway, you can mod yours any way you like. The schematics for the M60 are on the Automatic Weapons Handbook Volume 7. The parts are the same as the Tactical Assault Rifle, just more. The only drawback of the M60 is the reload speed, but your ammo capacity is huge, so you don't need to be reloading that often. You can increase it even more with clip extenders and drum magazines. That and the fast fire rate makes the M60 an ideal choice to deal with large groups of zombies. Machine guns have 3 options for ammunition. The standard 7.26mm, the armor-piercing round. You can find the recipe in the volume 6 of the sniper magazine. The armor-piercing round costs 2 extra gunpowder to make, compared to the standard. It will also degrade your weapons faster, but it deals 100% more damage to armor targets. Volume 7 of Sniper gives you the recipe to hollow point ammunition. The hollow point has increased damage against non-armored targets. For example, a normal zombie will take 2 hits to the body with the normal ammunition, but using hollow points you can take normal zombies with just 1 hit to the body. So this one is more efficient for crowd control, but it deals less damage to armored zombies, so you will need to be switching your ammunition. So all machine guns are good. The AK-47 is a fine weapon. The Tactical Assault Rifle I think is better suited for a stealth build, and the M60 I think pairs well with a heavy armor build, being noisy and letting the enemy come to you. Fortitude has survival perks that make your life easier. The Huntsman will increase the number of resources you get from animals. Good to have, but nothing game changing. Maybe in a big team. Well Insulated gives you more resistance to cold and hot temperatures. Reduces the rate you get thirsty in hot climates, and at level 3 you will get immunity to the most severe temperature related status. Living off the land is one of those skills that any build should have, at least at level 1. Living off the land at level 1 will duplicate your harvest from crops and will give you a 30% discount on farm plots. You will get the recipe to goldenrod, chrysanthemum, aloe and yucca seeds. You will find chrysanthemum and goldenrod all over the forest, and you will find red tea and goldenrod tea very frequently while looting. So I wouldn't recommend you planting them in your garden. Yucca and aloe vera are found in great quantities at the desert biome. At level 2, your discount on farm plots will be of 50% and you will have the recipe to all farmable plants and mushrooms. You will need a lot of rotten flesh if you are going to make a large garden. Once you are strong enough, the wasteland biome is full of zombie dogs, zombie vultures and zombie bears. Harvesting them gives you rotten flesh among other resources. At level 3 you can harvest 3 items from wild and planted crops. You will need 5 of the crop you want to make a seed of. Here are some places with wild crops to help you get started. This huge farm is filled with corn. I am playing in Naves game, so the coordinates are only for this map. But you could find these POIs in any map. This survivor site is near Trader Joel's, also has corn. You can find blueberries at the snow biome. This house has a blueberry plantation in its garden. This barn has yucca and blueberries and also a lot of corn. The only place I have found super corn is Carl's corn. You can make glue with it. This cave, also near Trader Joe, is full with mushrooms. This house in the burnt forest has mushrooms in the basement. This house in the desert is a greenhouse and you can find potatoes and other crops inside. This house in the snow biome has potatoes and blueberries and more corn. Once you find the recipes with a nice garden, you will have plenty of food. Check our strength only video for all the recipes. Pain tolerance gives you a damage reduction of up to 25% and will protect you against getting stunned. So you can be a very heavy tank or a reasonably well protected nimble fighter. Healing factor gives you passive health regeneration. That, at high levels, is very significant. Also, you will recover from critical wounds more quickly. With this, you probably don't need the heavy armor or to carry a lot of healing items. Iron God decreases the rate you get hungry and thirsty by physical exertion, increases the time you can hold your breath, and extends the durations of buff from consumables. Rule 1 cardio was super useful. It gives you bonus stamina regeneration while sprinting up to 30%. So with no penalties from the armor, if you drink coffee for example, your stamina will regenerate faster than you spend it while sprinting. Also, if you equip high performance running shoes, you can sprint indefinitely. This makes the bicycle a very effective weapon for most of the game, saving on gasoline, resources and time. By the way, padded armor has no penalties, So in a Fortitude build, I would highly recommend using that. This build was much better than I expected. The combination of your melee weapon and your ranged weapon is extremely effective. You won't have problems holding your base during Horde Night. In a team, you are an effective fighter, and your garden will be a great asset, especially for a master chef and or a physician. You are not a good miner, so for building materials you can rely on the abundance of cobblestone, cement, wood and stone that you can find at POIs. By the way, scrapping cobblestone or cement will give you small stone. I wish I knew this sooner. Try keeping lockpicks with you for when you get to log safes, because breaking them with your tools and your stamina will take a long time. Check out our playlist for more videos on 7 Days to Die, and thanks for watching.